All right. Well, we are pleased to be welcomed by PGA Tour winner and Ping staffer Tony Finau. Tony, thanks for hopping on Fully Equipped.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. So I know it wasn't the result you were looking for at Torrey, but you're heading to an event on the tour schedule that I feel like continues to be on the rise, the Travelers Championship. What is it about the Travelers that keeps you coming back year after year?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. I love this golf tournament for a couple different reasons. I would say the golf course is an amazing venue. When you come down that back nine, I think on a Sunday, there's so much excitement. There's numbers to be made, both low and high. So I think it brings a lot of adventure pack type golf down the stretch. But the people, the fans, I think there's a lot of people that come out and support. It's got a great small town feel to it, which I think is a cool thing. We play in a lot of big cities, which is great, but I think, kind of the small town feel and a lot of people coming out and supporting. So I think those are a couple of reasons. And then, Andy, the guy that runs the event, I think he does a great job of hosting players. The food is always good. So it's an all around great event. And, it's a reason why I keep coming back.
So we had a chance to go out to Ping HQ. I actually was out there with you when you first signed with Ping. But we had a chance to go out and see Wilco, Nienaber. I mean, the guy absolutely roasts the golf ball. We watched him clear the net from what I guess they kind of have deemed the Bubba Bay. And I'm wondering, when you go out there, how often are you clearing that net on the backside? Because it takes a serious poke to get back there.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if I've ever hit it over the net. I've hit it into the net, but it's quite something. I've never seen him actually hit in person, but I know he's got a huge frame. I think he's maybe 6'5", and so he's got these long levers. So he's got a lot of leverage when he hits a golf ball. But I just talked to Jason Gore a couple days ago at the USGA, and he was actually a marker for them in the final round, playing alongside Wilco. So he was able to tell me some of the shots he was hitting. I mean, he was chipping on the first hole at Torrey South. It was about 60 yards to the hole on a back
Wow.
pin. So, I mean, it just kind of gives you an idea, really the type of length that we're dealing with here with this kid. So obviously he's an amazing golfer as well. But a lot of the attention in his game right now is on his sheer length, and it's pretty cool to see.
You're one of the higher speed guys out there, but you do have kind of a short swing. How much would you say you still have in the tank, like distance-wise? What are some of the peak numbers where you top out at when you really let it rip?
Yeah, with my standard length driver, 208 is my highest ball speed. So I
Wow.
can, yeah,
That's
I can get it
moving.
well. Yeah, I can get it well into the 200s. I'd have to probably get something a shaft a little longer if I'm gonna go any higher than that. But I have no problem still hitting it in the 200s. If I live right around 180, which is what I say I do on an average drive on the PGA Tour, I can get well into 20, 25 miles an hour more than that. But I never really used that on the golf course. If I knew it was where it was going, I probably would. But when I take a full length backswing or even a little past parallel, I'm able to kind of peak those numbers into the 200s. But again, I don't have the accuracy with that type of swing that kind of would require to play high level golf. So I don't use it.
I feel like on the PGA Tour, most of the guys are moving to like a mindset where it's like, I just want to rip it as far as I can, but you're keeping it that low of a percentage. That's like what, 75, 80 of your max?
Yeah, I've toyed around with potentially going a little bit more, but I'm a strong believer that for me personally, I'm going to save the most amount of shots around the greens. There's so much emphasis put on driving, and I do think there's a huge part of our game that's moving that direction. It's been amazing to see what Bryson's been able to do, but a lot of these guys are just amping up now. I've been toning back really since I was about 20 years old. Trying to learn how to hit it straight. So I'm kind of in a whole different mindset, I think, than most guys, just in that I do still think for me personally, the most shots I'm going to gain on the field is going to be around the greens and on the greens. So that's kind of where I put my emphasis. But it is cool to see so many guys have that desire and see and take that challenge on seeing how far they can kind of max out with their ball speed and combined with accuracy. So Bryson's been able to show a lot of guys what's really possible. I think he kind of broke the threshold for how far a golf ball can be hit, far and straight. When he came out last year out of quarantine and played in Detroit last year, I think he kind of changed my whole theory of, when you get past 190, you can't really hit it straight anymore, because he was hitting a bunch of 193 to 195 ball speeds, drives in the middle of the fairway. So he did kind of, I think, break some theories there, but it is cool still to see a bunch of guys trying to hit it far.
Does your philosophy have anything to do with, because you use a Diamana RF shaft, the red version, which is kind of like the higher launch, higher bend shaft, but you're a high speed guy, so most like amateurs would think that you want to use the lowest spin shaft possible. But what kind of went into you getting into a shaft like that instead of one of the strong shafts?
Yeah, I just have Ping. The guys at Ping set me up with a bunch of different shafts, and whatever one I feel like is the I hit the best is kind of the one I choose. So I'm not 100% sure on exactly what type of shafts will be best for me or whatever. I get some advice from the guys at Ping and my coach, and kind of tell me. But for me, it's more about feel. If I feel like a certain shaft's going to perform better than others, I'll just use it. So I honestly don't know that much about my shafts, but I think it's worked out.
Definitely worked out.
I'm curious, Tony. How much do you use launch monitors when you're testing? It seems like it used to be guys were using them on the range. Now we're seeing a lot of guys even taking them to the golf course. How much do you kind of weight in the launch monitor numbers when you're testing out gear versus kind of what you're seeing and feeling?
Yeah, I pretty much use it all the time now. I've got my Foresight GC Quad, which is what most guys, it seems like, are using, because it's so much more portable than a lot of the other stuff that's out there. Yes. So I've been using that for a couple of years now, and I really like it. So, but I'll take it, just to use, launch angle, how it's coming off the face. Spin numbers is huge when you're hitting the driver and testing out a shaft, and then carry numbers. So I think all those three things are very important when you're testing equipment. And so I use it a lot. And then I take it out on the golf course. I'll hit it on the range, see what the numbers are, and then I'll take it out on the golf course and see what's changed. Am I swinging faster on the course? Am I swinging slower? If a hole is moving left to right, do I, what's my tendency there? So I think there's a lot of great information that comes from using that, using technology that we have these days to our advantage. But I definitely use it way more often than I ever have.
So I saw some tweets that you sent out over the last couple of days, congratulating John Rahm on his win, also congratulating Louis on his week at Torrey. And it got me wondering, how much golf do you watch in a given week? Because I've got 3 kids, you've got 4. I know it's tough to carve out time to watch golf, but it just got me thinking about that. How much time are you getting to spend to watch your peers?
That's a great question. I actually don't watch a lot of golf at all. I'm used to playing. Obviously, it's a weekend. That I unfortunately wasn't playing, but I did have the opportunity to watch. Which was really cool for me. I think I would have watched the ending whether I was a part of it or not. I would have watched the ending because I love seeing guys come down the stretch. I know what it's like being in those positions, and to see how how things kind of unfold in a big golf tournament. So I was able to watch that. But, regularly speaking, I don't really watch a lot of golf at all. I'm a huge basketball fan, so I watch a lot of NBA. The only tournament I watched growing up really was the Masters and the Ryder Cup. I think those are the 2 tournaments that attracted my attention when I was young. And it's still kind of that way now. I watched a lot of highlights from Masters. I love watching the Ryder Cup. But again, hopefully those are events that I'm a part of down the stretch and not have to watch too much.
Who's your basketball team?
Jazz. Big Jazz.
Oh,
big Jazz. Yeah, big Jazz.
Kind of figured.
So, so I unfortunately, they got their playoff run got cut short by the Clippers. But I'm still gonna watch. I'm kind of pulling for the Suns now. I like kind of the small towns. Being from Utah, being in a small town market, I know what what it would do to like a place like Phoenix to win a championship. So I'm pulling for the Suns.
Yeah. I'm curious, Ping's come out with some new gear, and none of it's available yet at Tour. That I'm talking about the I-59 irons and the Glide Forge Pro wedges. Have you been interested to test any of the new product yet? Is that something that you ever really do during the course of a season, or do you kind of leave that till the off season?
Yeah, no, for sure. I've tried the new irons and I think they're awesome. I was just there about a month ago testing out with KO and Christian Pena and all the guys at Ping. And I thought the stuff was fantastic. But for me, I love the blueprint irons that I'm playing. I've been playing them since 2018. So I'm going on almost 3 years now using the blueprint irons. So, yeah, I love the irons. So I'm not going to switch irons, but, when they come out with another wood, I'll be interested to try it. Every single wood that they've come out with, I've put in the bag. So, right now that's the G425. When the G410 was the hot thing, I hit that. When the G400 Max was, so I've kind of grown with their woods, and I look forward to whenever they're coming out with another one. But I love the setup I have in my bag, through the bag right now, and Ping has done a great job of allowing me to test and get me in the best equipment. And I think the best equipment for me right now is what I have in the bag.
I was talking to Kenton before this podcast just to see if you were working on anything crazy recently. He did say you made a big swing weight change in December. I don't know if you made a swing weight change or not, but kind of what went into that switch up.
Yeah, so I felt like I was losing control of the head a little bit on my backswing, not feeling enough of the head. So I asked Kenton to add some weight. So I probably have the heaviest clubs on tour. Most of the guys' swing weight is in the D category. If you know anything about swing sequences or swing weighting, most guys are in the D. I'm actually in the E, and in the middle of the E, I'm like E4, E5 on swing weight with my irons. But I've always had really heavy irons. I have a pretty heavy putter. I just always have wanted to feel the weight of the head more than anything else on the club. So, but anyways, yeah. So we did make that change, and I think it's been beneficial.
That's always something that I find interesting, working with the various tour players and various competitive players, how sensitive they are to feel and really kind of dialing in that weight. And you were talking about you've been playing Blueprint since 2018 and working with Bads. He's in iBlade and has no interest in changing whatsoever. So it's funny to me that these guys get dialed in on a particular product and they just stick with it. I love it.
Yeah, King stuff's amazing.
Just kind of mentioning KO and some of the guys you work with, how important are those relationships that you have with the guys at Ping, KO, Christian Pena? Just how much do you kind of lean on them for their insights when it comes to kind of helping optimize your bag setup?
Yeah, it's extremely important to have these relationships, and especially with all the guys at Ping. I have a great relationship with all of them, but I mean, they're probably almost annoyed with a lot of guys, guys like me on tour, because I'm messaging them all the time. Every week hey, can you get me a backup driver? What do you think about this? Right now I'm using, the 56 Glide. Do you think I should go to a 55 degree? This is the kind of the issues I had last week. So I message them quite often, and it's great to have a personal and business relationship with them, because we get to know them on a personal level. And that's really, the industry that we're all in. We're in the people industry. We're dealing with people all the time, and there's world-class people at Ping. And so I enjoy working with all of them. They're more than happy to help. And it's been a great relationship for me, and getting to know them, but they're more than willing to help, and they're all about helping you try to be better, get better, and play your best. That's their slogan. And I know that they're truly about that. So it's really cool to be a part of that.
I'm a big shoe guy. I've always admired your shoe game. I know you got to deal with Nike. I'm just curious what you think about the state of shoes right now on tour, and kind of how popular custom Jordans have been getting among amateurs, and just what your kind of thoughts are.
Yeah, I love some good shoes. Right now I've been wearing the Janoskis for a couple years now, so I love those. Before that, I was in the Air Maxes and 1Gs and things. So I love me a good shoe. As far as the state of the game with shoes, I love all the new stuff
great.
coming out. You know, those new Jordans that Bubba was sporting last week, the U.S. Open Jordans, I thought were unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable.
Looking.
Just the color wave and all that. So obviously, I love Jays. I have, you know, quite a few pairs of my own. But it seems like guys are moving in that direction, kind of more more modern, you know, type look. A lot of the classier looks, I think, are cool, you know, but I think more of the modern looks are kind of are what's changing the landscape of our game, and that's I think a cool part of our game.
Yeah.
That's kind of changing. It's kind of the culture on how it should look compared to how it used to look.
What's your shoe collection look like? How many J's you got in the tuck?
Well, I just got the Air Jordan or the Jordan 11s golf shoes, and then just the 5s. So I was excited about that. I went up to Jordan's place just a couple months ago and was able to buy a couple of those. But you know, as far as the regular shoe, I've got really almost every pair from the 3s to the 11s. So it's pretty extensive. I've got you know the new LeBrons, Kyrie's, Kobe's. So again, I'm a big basketball guy too. So I've got a lot of collection of those, and obviously all the Kobe's won't be going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm happy I got you know most of those pairs.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. As a shoe guy, I'm definitely jealous. Tony, thank you so much for the time. If fans want to watch, don't forget the Travelers Championship is going to be on Golf Channel June 24th through the 27th, and on CBS the 26th through the 27th. You're going to be able to see Tony, DJ, Bryson, Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka. It's a loaded field, and great. And good luck this week, Tony. Appreciate the time.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Tony.